Hello guys. Today we're gonna answer the questions in our subreddit AskRadiants. Let's start with this one. Constant exhaustion. Improve my ability to process information. This guy is Diamond 1 or 2, playing Omen Chamber, sometimes Reyna. He relies mostly on his mechanics, and people are calling him brain dead. Most people call him brain dead, and he's trying to improve. Watching what's and his main problem is decision making. Two examples like rotation, like he's too early and sometimes he's too fast. He's getting like 1v1 duel and dying in 50% of the time. His decision making is not fast enough. Like he needs some time to process information, as I guess. He think that his problem is like his brain is not fast enough. Okay. Constant exhaustion. First thing, if people call you, if most people call you as a brain like brain dead, maybe you have something to work on. I mean, maybe your playstyle is to like animal playstyle in a good way. I mean, maybe you rely more on your intuition, and maybe sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's bad. So you need to learn how to play in two styles. Like when you rely only on your intuition and like do random things, and when you're relying more on your brain, when you're like calculating things and like playing the best chances, like picking only together, not over picking, like playing really safe. So if you learn both styles, like if you play only like in high risk mode all the time, you're not gonna rank up, right? You're not gonna improve. Same if you're playing only in safe style. Like if you're not able to take a play in the right time, it's gonna hinder your performance as well. So when you rotate, you're either too late or you're too early. So first of all, you need to think how you want to retake something. Like if you're too late, you're probably maybe like not aware about minimap. And for example, if you're like on Haven, for example, you need to understand the map. You need to understand rotations. For example, if you're playing here on A side and people are on C, like you need to understand at which point you rotate. Like for example, if you're playing like here on side, it means that you don't have any map control, and your guesses are gonna be like, oh, maybe their enemies are here, maybe here, and you're watching lurkers like all the time, and it delays your rotations, right? That's the first thing. If you're staying like on early info like this, so you have more map control, and if you see like if you hear information that the enemies rush and see, for you it's like it's good to know that nobody's here, right? No, there is nobody lurking, it's not a fake, and etc. So you can rotate faster with a knife. So on Haven, that's fine if you're kind of late, and if you're if your allies dying on C, it's not your fault. Next thing, some people on lower ranks, they like to like shift to flank like for 2 hours. You know, like they're shifting here, they're clearing all this thing alone, like, and at this time, people are dying on the seaside, right? So if you're like in my opinion, sometimes maybe it's worth it. Maybe if you're flanking B or close point and you're gonna win the round with this flank, but most of the time it looks like this. You have people on C, like 3 guys, for example, and there is 5 enemies. And at first it's like 5v3 battle. Defenders are losing sometimes, most of the time, like in 5v3, right? And then you're it's like 2v3, like this, late flankers, or 1v3, 1v2. So, and this guy is making exit frags. It's bad because there is no synergy between defenders, right? Like, synergy between these defenders should be like this. Like, if these guys are fighting here with these guys, flankers should force themselves to put the pressure on attackers. For example, if you are gonna run and flank like this without shifting, even when attackers gonna hear sound of your steps or breaking, or they know they're gonna hear that you break the trap or other thing, it will apply extra pressure for attackers. So it means when you do like, for example, you're flanking, okay, you broke the trap here, you're not like shifting, trying to jump with it over and etc. Attackers are now gonna be unfocused like this. Like they were focused like this on these 3 defenders. Now their focus is like lost a bit because 1 or 2 guys have to watch behind. So that's the thing about flanking, too early or too late. Like if you're too late, try to speed up. Like try to put the pressure, or try to get, if you're flanking, if you're trying just to rotate safely from CD, just run fast, make a call to your teammates. Sometimes it's all about your teammates if they're like overpicking or something like this. It's not your fault, but try your best to get here as fast as you can, so you can fight with them together. Next thing, when you coming too early, and for example there is 3 people here, sometimes it's okay. Like if you have number disadvantage, like it's 3v4, 2v4, it's fine. Like you don't need to wait like your teammates to trade each other. Maybe you wanna make a play and get the early pick. It's totally fine. But if it's, for example, 3v3 or 4v3, like if you have advantage in numbers, there is no reason for you to make a stupid play. Like you don't need to make risk, because if you do this, you're brain dead, right? Like you're just giving your advantage away, right? Just the real here is, if you have number disadvantage, okay, make a play. If you're too early, just try to kill, fall back, and try to win the round. If you're even, you just read the situation. Like, what do you have? Do you have good utility for retake? Do you have some ults to retake or not? If you have advantage, it's always better just to like chill a bit, maybe hold one position like this or like this, and wait your teammates to retake together. So you're saying that your problem is that you're taking too much 50-50 battles, right? The thing is, like, when you're taking 1v1, you're correct. It's like 50-50, right? But when you're taking 2v1 fights, it's probably like 50% that you're 40% that you're one of you are gonna die. Like let me show you like this. Like 40% that one of you're gonna trade the 1-for-1, 1-for-1 like this. And 10% that you're gonna both die, right? 2-for-0, for example. So you need to focus on this thing. Like you need to trade as 2v1 because there is higher chance to trade the positive. Like if you're in 4v3 situation, all you need to do, you don't need to make a super play. You just need to trade each other. You're like if you're too early, wait buddy with you and just go together with some utility, right? Just go together. He trade you or you trade him, doesn't matter. These guys trade each other 1-for-1. This 1-for-1, and done. You won retake. Okay. Next thing. I think you're saying that you're not particularly fast at figuring out what the enemy team could be trying to do. I think it's more about your focus and awareness. Like if you're like in the game and you're focused on your crosser, your mechanics, how you're gonna kill people, is totally fine. That you don't have like you don't have muscle memory, not like muscle memory, but you don't have these connections in brain. You don't have enough connections in brain, synaptical connections. I mean, so you don't have enough connections to get it like on auto mode. You know, if you're doing something a lot and a lot of time, it becomes like like an autopilot. Like when you drive in bicycle or when you drive in the car, you're not thinking about like imagine you're driving car like for 10 years. You're not thinking about all these things. It's just come in auto mode. And imagine when you go when you drive a car for the first time, like everything is like so fucking, how to say, there is so much pressure on you when you ride for the first time. So I think it's all about experience and your focus. Maybe for you it's good to focus on your decision making. Like when you practice, try to practice not for try to play like few games for practice and few games for performance. When I'm saying like few games for practice, it means that you're not aiming to win the game, you're aiming to improve yourself, right? And you might like your mechanics might become a little bit more less efficient in this particular games when you play for practice and you think consciously on decision makings. Like try to focus on one concept and do only practice only this concept, and it doesn't matter you win or lose. And after this, you're gonna build some connections in your brain, and when you're gonna play for performance, you'll see that when you're back to focusing on like your mechanics and other things, you're gonna see that your decision making is better in autopilot mode. So I hope I've answered on your question. Constant exhaustion.